I've printed almost 20,000 pages on the big printer, and I've had to sign probably 2,000 documents. Everything's got a box around it because they're not part of the document. So it goes to the four-corner rule with parentheses or quotes or anything in grammar. Four-corner rule is if you have it in brackets, it's not part of the document.
You kind of lost me, Tim, I'm going to be honest.
Really?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
I thought you were like an English major or something.
I am an English major, but here's why. The parentheses are part of a document.
Well, not in this part, because it's a full box.
Tim Colburn is going to court to revoke his U.S. citizenship. He hopes it can help get his daughter back. What are all of the things that you believe the government has taken away from you?
They took away my liberty. They took away my freedom to choose where I want to live, to choose what I want to do for a job. They took away my right to parent my child.
When he was 21 years old, Colburn was charged with having sex with a 14-year-old. He didn't know her age at the time. You believe you're innocent.
I know, I absolutely am.
But Colburn pled guilty in exchange for lifetime probation. Eventually, he started to resent and disobey the terms. No internet, no leaving town without permission, registering as a sex offender.
If I followed every single one of probation's restrictions, you would not be able to be a functional member of society.
His latest probation violation, repeatedly being in a room alone with a minor, in this case, his newborn daughter.
I just wanted to be a dad.
When the Arizona Department of Family Services opened an investigation, Colburn and his wife, Annie, went on the run. Then in December, with the help of a SWAT team, the department removed the baby and placed her in foster care.
There was no neglect in any way, shape, or form. That baby was so happy.
Desperate and fed up, Colburn and his wife are going on the offense. They're turning to radical strategies that challenge government authority.
I'm going to personally sue judges. So the one that's holding our daughter hostage, basically, he's upholding a case of fraud. I can go after his cars. I can take everything.
This is a very aggressive strategy to take against someone who has a lot of power over your case.
Of course. It's the only one that will scare people enough to not screw with you.
Adherents go by many names. American nationals, freemen. Everyone else calls them sovereign citizens.
Sovereign is one's own government for oneself. Instead of being a U.S. citizen, I'm going to be an American national. And it's going to have limited diplomatic immunity.
Just about any lawyer would disagree with that premise. So Tim is going to court to fire his lawyer.
They're going to adopt my daughter out if I don't move forward. So I have to move forward today. And I don't need advisory counsel. I do not want advisory counsel. I'm very capable of representing myself. Thank you, Your Honor.
But Colburn does have a less conventional advisor. David Straight, an Oregon rancher who teaches sovereignty with a QAnon spin.
Right here in Arizona, between 55 and 60 children every month that were taken by CPS disappear out of the state records. Who removes the record? Attorneys and judges. Trafficking children.
The result is a mega conspiracy that Child Protective Services is abducting children to sell them abroad.
How many people have had problems with the courts in here? All of you, that's why you're here.
Colburn has paid Straight $6,000 so far for legal services. He invited us to attend this seminar, which he helped organize. We're the first media outlet to ever film at one.
So let's say two people want to go and own a property, but they don't have the money for that property. So how many days would they need to camp there to own that property?
Did they vote for Biden? If they vaccinated, knock on the door, tell them to get their affairs in order because their lifespan is 3 years. Through adverse possession laws, you can walk in and pay 2 years property taxes up front and own the home.
That's not true. But David teaches that a secret set of laws has been hidden from the people. Harnessing them means you can speed on the highway, ignore taxes, and pretty much do whatever you want.
The ultimate goal is what? To be free.
Who do you think is attracted to your seminars?
Usually the ones that come to the seminars are people who have been injured by government, who see the corruption. They've had their homes foreclosed, abuse on the highways by our highway robbers.
How deep you think this goes?
Completely underground. It goes so satanic and so deep, it's not even funny. Satanic rituals are performed in this country using children.
I did talk to one other parent who's used your ideas, who said she thinks that you are a scammer. And, she talked to you on the phone and she says that you told her that if she wants to get her kids back, the real way to do it is to go into the foster home where they are and just shoot it up.
No, I've never said that.
Do you condone violence in any situation to get your kids back?
Here's the thing. Do you have a right to defend your home and your castle and your property? Even Jesus Christ said you may have to sell your cloak and buy a sword. You hang on to your kids tightly. When evil comes for them, they have no right to touch your children.
So it sounds like you're not advocating that a parent whose child is being taken beat up the CPS worker.
I think the parents should do anything in their power to defend their right to keep their child. And if that's death, yeah.
Alleged sovereign citizens have occasionally turned violent.
A gunman in a silver SUV trying to drive through the front of the Forsyth County Courthouse, a self-described sovereign citizen.
Sir, is this an Maritime Admiralty Law courtroom that we're processing me through?
No, it's not.
And as the ideas spread on the internet, new types of crimes are occurring.
She's got a unique defense. She claims she's a divinely empowered entity immune from laws.
Many of them now involve the child welfare system.
If you kill a CPS worker or you kill a government official, you could be found innocent,
Oh, excuse me. Do you know if Miss Kelly Hughes is here? No idea, I'm sorry.
This spring, a man who had posted on social media about revoking his citizenship using David Straight's paperwork was arrested.
Yeah, I'm actually being held hostage.
He'd made terroristic threats against an adoption attorney, Kelly Hughes. She now fears for her life. When did you first encounter the word sovereign citizen?
I supposedly got served with a stack of documents. It was absolute crazy gibberish. Their legal language wasn't even legal language. They were saying things like, your birth certificate isn't real, you're not a citizen, and all you have to do is say you're a sovereign citizen and you win your case. And they even had crazy videos such as, this is how people get their children back after abusing them.
What did you think when you read that stuff?
I wondered whether they were high or mentally ill.
Do you think that people who are part of the child welfare system need to watch out for their personal security because of ideas like this?
Absolutely. I've done over 1,000 CPS cases. I've never had anything like this.
But incidents like these are happening more and more. Since 2020, Neely Petrie Blanchard is one of 4 parents who plotted to kidnap their biological children out of foster care after reading conspiracy theories online.
The state and federal governments run on what they don't want you to know. It is emotional and psychological warfare. Sex trafficking in children is the perfect way to cover all this up and make money.
But kidnapping isn't why she's talking to me from jail. After years of working with a different sovereign citizen group in Florida, Petrie Blanchard decided that its leader was in on the conspiracy to traffic her daughters. She went to his house and fatally shot him in the head. She's awaiting trial for murder and pleading not guilty by reason of temporary insanity. What do you want other parents to know about sovereign citizens?
I've come to believe that it's a money-making business that helps spread conspiracy theories and supports giving false hope to people. I wanted my kids back so bad. I did whatever he asked me to do.
The bus is kind of a statement. So I'm ready to live off-grid. Every time I get sick and tired of this, I usually just take off and I run. This is going to be the master bedroom. And then right where you're standing, actually, this whole part is going to be the shower, because this emergency exit's going to be a little skylight in the shower.
Since the seminar with David Straight, Colburn has been trying out his ideas in court. But he's also starting to have doubts.
It's really difficult to get any solid research on David. I just want to know if he's done any of the things that he said he's done.
See, I've gone to federal courts, and we walk in and we nullify their trial.
We looked into Straight. He says he's been involved in hundreds of court cases, but we couldn't find his name as a party in any, apart from a couple linked to his ranching business. Straight also claims to be a Navy SEAL.
I was a Navy SEAL. I'm taught to scan, so I scan and I see 2 police officers.
But we found no military records to support that claim.
It's disappointing, because I held David in high respect, so that's disturbing.
How does that make you feel?
Cheated.
When we followed up with Straight, he told us that none of our questions were even correct, and then claimed not to know us, even though he had sat for our interview 6 weeks earlier. I asked him to send me a response and proof of how my questions were incorrect. He never did.
From the impression that you get from David in person, you expect him to be a better person than that. I might have to go a completely different route now. That is disturbing because, yeah, he did give me a little bit of hope. It was actually hope and motivation that I really needed, though. I was desperate, and I still am desperate. And I'm going to do anything it takes to get this resolved.
Where do you go next?
Our plan moving forward is just to sue everybody. Anybody that's attached to this case in any way, shape, or form, going back 20 years until I get some justice.
And if not?
If not, then I'm going to go to a different country. Peace out.
For now, the Department of Family Services is moving steadily to terminate Colburn's parental rights. And a few weeks after this interview, on August 10th, Colburn was taken into custody at a court hearing. He's currently in jail, awaiting sentencing for probation violations. Tell me what your opinion is of the child welfare system.
Well, government has no authority whatsoever to even get involved in the family or in welfare. And that's been proven over and over.
Well, government disagrees with that, though, right?
No, they don't. No, they don't. Congress created 2 things. Social Security under Title IV and ASFA, which fund child protective services. And in both laws from Congress clearly state the intent of government, and that's to never take a child from a parent without the parent's consent unless the parent has been found through proper due process law and convicted of a felony. That's not the way the system works because the profit margins got too high. When government can make $3 or $4 million per child, they're going to take children.
I've never heard of that.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Are you ever worried that these tactics might backfire for your followers?
No, not if they actually do what I say. The problem is, you don't act as a king, as a free man, as someone who is knowledgeable in the law until you are knowledgeable in the law.
Is Tim on the right track?
Tim's on the right track. He needs to keep following through. You got to study, you got to learn, you got to apply yourself, you got to research, it takes work.